I lunged off my porch, yelling, "Get your hands off my strawberries, Linda!" Pitchfork in one hand, phone in the other already recording, I caught her off guard. She froze mid-theft, one knee in the dirt, her arm buried elbow-deep in my strawberry patch, a reusable tote bag half-stuffed with my berries. Her wide-brimmed hat shaded her face, but her eyes betrayed her wide, panicked. "I was just checking for bugs," she stammered, scrambling up too fast and nearly tripping over the garden bed's edge. "Don't even start," I snapped. "This is the third time this month, Linda. You're caught on video now." The air hung heavy with summer heat, the sun dipping low, painting the sky orange and purple. My chickens went quiet. Even the breeze seemed to hold its breath. Then she bolted. I stood there, stunned, as she tore across the field, knocking over a crate of beans and trampling my young tomato plants. Strawberries spilled from her bag like a trail of guilt. She didn't get far, though someone was waiting by the gate, and they weren't happy. 3 months ago, my biggest worry was a late frost ruining my apple trees. I'm Emily, living on a modest 5-acre farm in a sleepy rural town just beyond a tidy suburb. This land came from my granddad, who taught me to tend it, talk softly to the animals, and treat folks kindly even when they didn't earn it. It wasn't always simple being the farm girl next to neighbors who thought landscaping meant fake deer and dyed mulch, but I kept to myself. I sold eggs and veggies at a roadside stand, gave extra to the food bank, and lent a hand when I could. Then the HOA rolled in. At first, I figured it'd be harmless, maybe speed bumps or potlucks, but no. It was a full-on rule-enforcing machine led by Linda. Not her real name, but it suits her too well. She strutted around in pastel blazers, tablet in hand, acting like she owned everything. She didn't even live nearby, but somehow she'd crowned herself HOA president over the district, including the farmland buffer next to the suburbs. That's when things got strange. It started small, me gate left open, goats wandering, my scarecrow shifted with its hat missing. Then half my raspberries vanished overnight. I didn't point fingers. Maybe it was kids or a crafty deer. I let it go, leaves too short for grudges. But then I caught her. I'd gone to town for supplies, forgot my wallet, and doubled back. There she was, Linda, crouched in my garden, snapping asparagus like it was hers. I didn't confront her then, too shocked. Instead, I locked the gate, set up cameras, and marked rows to track theft. It kept happening, not daily, but enough to know it was no accident. She didn't need free food. Her big house and fancy car said that. So why me? I didn't get it. I didn't blab online or call the cops. Maybe she was struggling, I thought. So I baked her a pie. Crazy, I know, but Granddad said kindness reveals who people really are. I took it to her during an HOA patrol. She was measuring some guy's lawn when I offered the cherry pie with a smile. She eyed it like it was roadkill. "Oh, how nice," she said, not touching it. "But I don't do sugar, gluten, or anything grown in dirt." I forced a grin. "It's organic." "No thanks," she snapped. "Now, about your property, there's talk of your barnyard smell bothering the neighborhood." I blinked. "That's compost. It's good for the soil." "It's bad for lawsuits," she shot back. "Think about fencing it all. And those roosters, are they necessary?" "They're part of the farm," I said. "Well, so's an HOA. Get used to it." That's when I knew she wasn't just a control freak, she was a wrecking ball aimed at my life. Things escalated. Warning letters flooded my mailbox, unapproved tools, illegal animal shelters despite my land being outside HOA rules. They kept coming, signed L. Harper, HOA president. Then my neighbor Tom stopped by while I checked the beehives. "Linda was back here this morning," he said, nodding toward the property line. "Said she was checking codes, but she was picking something. Acted casual when she saw me. That did it." I added cameras, moved strawberries and peppers closer to the house, and slapped up a "no trespassing" sign you couldn't miss. She didn't stop. So there I was, charging off the porch, pitchfork raised, Linda caught red-handed. But she didn't know someone else was at the gate, not a neighbor, but a man with a file that'd flip everything. "Stop, Linda," he barked, holding the folder like a badge. She skidded to a halt, dirt on her knees, face paling as she recognized him. I didn't, not yet. Clean jeans, collared shirt, boots too polished for a farmer, looked like he'd walked out of an office. "What are you doing here?" Linda hissed, tugging her hat lower. "Same question," he said coolly. "But we both know." He turned to me. Emily, right? I'm Nathan Cole, County Assessor's Office. Been looking into odd stuff with your land. My stomach sank. My land. Linda cut in. She doesn't have to talk to you, Nathan. No warrant. Enough. Linda Harper, he said flatly. You filed 12 fake complaints against this property in 90 days, bogus animal violations, zoning lies. And he opened the folder. You tried to tweak the district's plat maps. I gaped. She what? Before he could explain, Linda ran again, strawberries scattering like confetti. We didn't chase her, just watched her vanish past the pines. The chickens clucked again, a dog barked somewhere. Well, Nathan sighed, tucking the folder away. That could have gone better. I took a shaky breath. Can you explain what's happening? He nodded toward the porch. You might want to sit. It started, Nathan said, with a boundary gripe. Linda had pushed to rezone my land's eastern edge under HOA control, claiming my farm hurt the suburbs. Look. She's been trying to snag your back 2 acres, he said as we sat with lemonade. If she succeeded, you'd need their okay to plant anything. That's nuts, I said. This land's been ours for 3 generations. She knows, he said darkly. It's not about the land, it's power and image. You're messy to her. I laughed, bitter. Now what? You've got footage to fight back, he said. With your permission, I'll file a report. I nodded. Do it. He stood. Be careful. People like her don't quit, they escalate. That night, I couldn't sleep, replaying Linda and my berries, her face when Nathan called her out, the file's accusations. It felt surreal, but beneath the anger was sadness. I'd hoped we could be neighbors, maybe friends. I tried, staring out at fireflies over the pasture, goats asleep, stars like spilled sugar. I wondered why someone would go so far to hurt another. Days passed too quiet. No Linda, no letters. Nathan said the county might re-VYEW the HOA's charter. I tended crops, fixed the gate she'd smashed, kept going, farms don't wait. Then one morning, pruning in the orchard, I heard metal scraping near the barn. I crept closer, peering around the corner. Linda knelt by my tool shed, crowbar prying the new lock. Her car hid behind trees. I pulled my phone, recorded, and stepped out. Breaking in now, Linda? She spun, eyes wild, crowbar raised. I lifted the phone. Go ahead, make it good. You don't get it, she spat. You never did. This isn't about you. Then what? I stepped closer. Why me? What did I do? She faltered, fear flickering in her eyes. A snap rang out, smoke rose from the pasture. My greenhouse was burning. I dropped the phone and ran. Flames devoured the walls, glass shattered, plastic melted. Inside were months of work, heirloom tomatoes, rare herbs, hand-pollinated squash. Call 911. I yelled, not looking back. Grabbing the hose, I fought the blaze. To my shock, Linda ran toward it, grabbing another hose. Her face unreadable regret. Maybe. We battled side by side in silence until the fire truck arrived. Volunteers doused the flames with foam. Leah VYing a charred shell, half the roof gone. Walls scorched, the stench of burnt basil thick. Soaked and shaking, I turned to Linda. Did you do this? She didn't answer. A deputy approached. How'd it start? Before I could speak, Linda said, someone lit it. I saw a dark green SUV speed off. I glared. I'd seen a white truck with plates. She was lying or someone else was here. The next day, the farm felt hollow. The fire was out, but the loss stung, hundreds in plants and materials gone. I salvaged what I could, some tomatoes, lavender, but my mind spun. Nathan stopped by, jaw tight. Someone's desperate, he said. Her? I asked. Maybe. Or someone with her. She's not alone and she's cornered now. Who's she with? He lowered his voice. Talk is, her HOA crew wants to expand into nearby lands. Your farm's in their development corridor. Big money's involved. My breath caught. So it's not personal? Oh, it's personal, he said. But it's business too. They'll scare you off if they can't push you out. Are you GIVYing up, he asked. I looked at my grazing goats, pecking chickens, thrive-vying orchard. No, I said. I'm not. A week later, at the market selling eggs and scraps, I spotted Linda across the street by a green SUV with a tall, gray-haired man in sunglasses. He handed her a folder. She gave him something, smell a USB, maybe. I snapped a photo. That night, gravel crunched outside. A shadow moved near the shed. Boots on, Flashlight and shovel in hand, I crept out. The shed door swung open inside. The man from the lot rifled through my deed boxes. I recognized him from a billboard. Vote James Carter for county commissioner. He saw me and bolted. I chased him to a green SUV, but he sped off. This wasn't just Linda. It was bigger. James Carter, development, money. They wanted my land erased. Digging through Granddad's files, I found a 1984 agricultural covenant me land protected forever unless I dissolved it. Nathan confirmed it. This is your shield, he said. But then my phone buzzed. You don't want this fight. Then, farms burn all the time. Rage surged. No more defense. At the town council, I stood. I'm Emily Lane. Someone's trying to steal my farm. I showed the photo, detailed the harassment, fire, break-in. I've got proof my land's protected. I'm not stopping. The room buzzed. An old woman, Mrs. Jensen, slipped me an envelope. HOA fraud, EVY Denke, against Linda. That night, a rock smashed my window with a note. Leave or get buried. I didn't flinch. I called the sheriff, then took it all to the Ridgemont Sentinel. The story exploded. VY online, TV crews at my gate, community support pouring in. Linda vanished. Carter's career crumbled under investigation. One night, I caught a kid stealing eggs. Not Linda, just a hungry boy, Ethan. I gave him food, started a free pantry. The farm became a lifeline. Neighbors volunteered, kids planted, hope grew. Linda pled guilty, fined, and faded away. Carter was ousted. A note arrived. Emily, it wasn't the food. It was your peace, roots. I should have asked how. I smiled. The land stood firm, and maybe we all learned something.